Hi, and welcome to a PowerShell quick tip. We haven't had one of these quick tip videos in quite a while, so we've had quite a few series recently, but we're going to go back to having quite a few quick tips because I have quite a few things that I want to show you guys. And the first one is actually being able to generate a temporary file in your PowerShell code. Now, typically, if you're writing a script and you want to store something to a file, you might actually create the file path yourself and then maybe remove it later on. But PowerShell actually has a very handy feature which lets you generate a temporary file in the system defined temp directory, and it auto generates the name. You don't have to worry about that. You'll get the full path back and you can completely use this temp file. And then at the end of your script, you can go ahead and delete it. And this way, it just assures that you're not having any kind of collision with other files that you might be using or accidentally overwrite a file that you didn't want to overwrite. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at how we could generate a temporary file in PowerShell. So I already have obviously my Visual Studio Code here open with PowerShell. So the first thing that we're going to do here is actually create a variable called temp file, and we're going to make that equal to new dash temporary file. Now, if we actually just go ahead and we actually run this here, and we actually just look at what is inside of the temp file variable, you will actually see that we have a temporary file named tmp, and then it is a randomized string of characters and numbers or anything like that, dot tmp. And if we actually just do a tmp, so temp file dot full name here, if we actually go ahead and look at that, we will actually see that it is stored in my C users JackedProgrammer app data local temp, and it is just that temp file. Of course, we could even generate another temp file here. So let's do temp file 2 equals new temporary file, and then we would actually have two temporary files with completely unique names. You might be wondering, like, why would you need to use this? Like I said earlier, it is mostly if you need to store something to a file because you need to do some processing later on in your script, or you just want to have some place that you can write to, but you don't necessarily need to keep it on that machine and you can easily delete it at the end of your script. This is something that you would use. So here we can actually do like a get computer info, for example, and let's say we want to go ahead and we want to pipe that out with out file here. We're going to pipe that out to temp file, and then what we also want is we also want to do a get service here, and we're going to pipe that out to out file, and we're going to say temp file 2. So here we can actually go ahead and we can run those two. So that's going to get my computer info, put that in the first temp file, and then get all these services and put that into the temp file 2. And if we go ahead and we get a get content on the temp file here, if we go ahead and we run that, we can see that we have all of our info from our get computer info. And then if we do a get content on temp file 2 here, if we go ahead and run that, we have all of our services. So of course, you can store output of different commandlets. Maybe you're going to store, maybe you're programming some type of game or a application where you would want to store maybe historical commands that the person has run, information on the character that the person is playing at. If you want to make a game on PowerShell, which is possible, probably not the language to use, but it is completely doable, especially if you want to do like a pick your own adventure style game. But there are a tons of different capabilities that you would want to use this new temporary file for. And then at the end of your script, all you would really have to do is do a remove file. And then you can just do a temp file, and then we can do another remove, or I should say it's actually remove item, I believe, not remove file. So let's just do remove item here on both of those. So if we actually just run that, and now we can see if we try to get the content, obviously it will be deleted. So This is something that is very, very handy. You don't have to worry about the permissions because it's going to be stored in whichever context in that temp file of either the user or the system, whichever one that the computer actually has access to, which is really, really handy. So hopefully this comes in handy for you guys for your scripts if you have any use for temporary files. And be sure to stay tuned for more quick tips. I'll also have a couple more videos coming out on PowerShell Universal in the near future as well for some extra configurations. As well as if you have anything that you guys would like me to make a video on, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to do every single one of them. Be sure to hit that notification bell. Be sure to also hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next video.